Pick up the phone and you call one of them.
Down the street.
Hey, you know something, Brian? You don't even have to bother them. You can take some pictures with your phone, and you can bring them in to the recreation director, and you show it to them. Look, they had 20 kids. Look at this. Doesn't matter if they're all Somerset kids, they lied to them. So once you get caught lying, you should never get
It's
another
like
permit.
anything else.
Right.
If
So-
you violate the
You're right, you're
permit, you're
absolutely
gonna
right.
lose it.
We get the same thing happens all the time. People will call up and say, hey, who the heck's playing on the baseball field at South Complex? And we know that it's permitted for you guys, and all of a sudden we find out afterwards it's somebody from either Swansea or Seacon. I'm like,
So if other teams that have more than 10% of their kids from Somerset can put in for permits?
They have to pay.
they get put in for
They can
permits.
put in.
If they have more than 10%.
They have to go right before the board
Just like everybody
again.
else, and they have to pay the fee.
But I'm sure,
There's a fee.
I'm sure
There's a
you guys,
fee.
but Jimmy, I'm sure you
Yeah.
guys as a board, if somebody walked in there and had 3 or 4 Somerset kids and had kids from all different towns, you'd probably look at it and say, you know,
We've
we're
already-
not-
We've already done that.
We've already done that.
Can't do it.
So, I mean,
We will
I
not.
think, Ryan, the way the permit process that they do here, I think if you just keep an eye on their rosters, and if you find that they're lying, report it to them, and that's where you'll have your hands up. But until they are 10 kids from Somerset, and they.
9 of those.
Nine of 11.
None of the 11.
Yeah, and 9 of the 11, which is really, it's a good number. And unfortunately, I agree with you guys. You know, I understand, I've watched leagues be destroyed. Connecticut has been totally destroyed in softball because
I mean,
of club,
we were
because of
almost
club
there.
teams.
We
But,
put the
but
softball
as
team
far
out.
as, you're not gonna beat their system because of the way they do things. And it's the way they do their permit.
We're trying to do it to
We've changed
protect
it.
your league. Only because, and I know it sounds like we're not, we're trying to do it so that, they play in your rec league. I mean, I think there's 5 or 6 kids that play in your rec league. Sooner or later, I think, they would say, hey, you know what, I just wanna play with my friends. So,
And that's why
they
the
don't.
other
and so-
six are
and-
playing with us.
and-
Listen,
and
I'm not really involved with the whole travel program and any of that. I'm really focused on the recreational program that we have. Okay?
and that's what we should be worried about. We're worried about rec league.
Okay,
So we're not really
so
worried
listen,
about
I've reached
Storm
out to all
or
of those players that
Mayhem
left.
or Rebels. These guys here are more interested in the rec league. So your rec league,
But that's not a rec league, Barry, you're talking about.
but your Storm is also a travel team.
What's a recreational travel league?
Yes.
Okay,
It's
but-
a different
but
division.
but
ASA, it's a whole separate category.
I understand. I really do understand it.
You have to
but-
play in recreation too.
Exactly, okay? But the thing is, those kids who play in your rec league, if they choose not to or don't get selected, and say a girl does not get selected to play on Storm.
Scott, you did the draft.
Okay, I'm just saying, I'm just asking a question. If a girl does not get selected to play on a team for Storm, what does she do? She wants to really play in the summertime, and there's no more rec league. What does she do?
And that has happened in the past, and if they're above board and say, hey, I didn't make Storm, I wanna go play for XYZ.
And I
And
think,
there's still
like Don
more-
says,
there's still more than welcome
it's
to
gonna
play
get
in the
weeded
rec
out.
league.
After a while, 2 or 3 years of them jumping from
When
team
does
to
your
team,
rec
it's gonna
league
get
end?
weeded out.
When does your rec league end?
End of June. Yeah.
End of June. So, July comes, August comes, you have your Storm team travel, am I correct?
Yeah.
See if I,
Yep,
maybe
you're
I'm
right.
getting this, okay.
Yep.
So if a girl played house league, and now she's not playing for any other team, she can't, you know.
No, we have a summer
We also,
program.
we have a summer.
We have
One
a
day a
summer
week,
program.
We do
one
a
day a
summer
week, right?
clinic.
Yeah.
We also
You
do
get
fall
like 2
ball.
teams,
Yeah.
plus you guys do instructions, too,
Instructions,
in
right.
summertime.
Yeah.
Instructional leagues.
Okay, that's what I'm
Yeah.
questioning,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's still, you know, I mean, if,
I think the concern is
It's really about the field maintenance and the integrity.
the money that's involved with the leagues and the thousands, if you added it up, probably tens, 20 of thousands of dollars that these guys have poured into the field between labor and material.
In, yeah, labor.
We still have the batting cage that's not up because we have to repair it. It's up.
Who the hell damaged?
Everybody, you.
See, the
everybody.
problem is,
Okay,
if you
yeah,
listen to
but-
what Matt said,
Everybody uses it.
Matt's put a ton of money
Mhm.
in the Little League, and you understand, it's a town field.
Labor of love.
If you don't put the money in it, and Rich has been in it, Matt's been in it for years, you don't put the money in it as a league, and rely on the town to take care of it, you're playing on a bond field.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of pride with you people. We never told you guys, hey, you need to put scoreboards up. Hey, you need to do this.
I think maybe.
Hey, you need to put up batting cages. We've never,
We get
ever
that, but
told you that.
You know, maybe, maybe we think and we're probably wrong apparently, but maybe we think that the rec board kind of protects our league and realizes the time and money investment that we have, that the Little League has, and
we do.
protects that.
And we do. If you look at our permit schedule,
Mhm.
we do. Because like Mr. Fontaine said, we have a lot of people coming. In the zones coming here, want to run their AAU program out of our fields.
The gulls.
Okay, the gulls. No. If you want it, here's the fee.
There was a softball
Holy
team.
smoke, that's a lot of money.
So what's the difference? I
What if
don't
they had,
understand.
like,
All
what
right,
if
I
they had
agree
the
with that.
percentage? Would they get it for free?
If they had the percentage,
No, if they're a non-resident.
Yeah.
No, like the
I
golf.
think you have to look at, like, Teamworks, for example, is trying to put together
Well,
softball,
that's
baseball
fascinating,
Yeah,
teams.
what's the difference?
And
Yeah, like if I
they're,
made like an
they're for
AAU
profit,
team.
yeah.
you wouldn't give them fees.
No,
We
no.
wouldn't get it.
What about, well, we would, you have to pay a fee.
Right, but
And we look at it and we see where it fit and they would get
So what's
last
the
But if
priority.
there was no fields, they wouldn't get a field.
We'll get it.
what's the difference? Why aren't they,
Is
you
this
said
something
you'll pay a fee,
501c3?
why isn't there a fee being paid then? That's our question. Why
Because-
isn't there
because-
equitable sharing of the maintenance?
Because our application and our permit fee says, if you have less than 10%, you have, only 10% of the kids,
Yep.
your team, are not from Somerset.
Right. So when the men's league comes of guys from Somerset, why'd you say no to them?
We haven't said no,
We haven't said no to
we
any-
haven't said no men's, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I think they come in because they can't play in Berkeley anymore. Same with the
Well, then-
Drifters that
then
come in.
they're not
Oh,
gonna
no.
come
And,
in.
and we've actually thrown men's teams off of Ashton. We've thrown men's teams off of
South Complex.
South Complex.
They play on Sunday mornings.
I think we're setting a precedent that we don't want to go down.
So,
let's-
is this team that has asked for the field, are they not-for-profit? Are they?
And it has nothing to do with it.
You said it.
They're
you said it.
Somerset residents.
You said it, you said they're
Bottom
not for profit.
line, they're Somerset residents.
So you said the gulls weren't allowed to use it because they're for profit.
No,
No, they
don't wanna pay the fee.
don't want to pay the fee.
Okay, when they
Plus,
came to us,
because
oh,
they
we're
didn't
in
have
business now in Somerset, we would like to use that
I don't
complex.
understand why they don't wanna pay us, they're paying the YMCA.
Okay, then you gotta pay the fee. And the fee is pretty high, cause we're trying to stop outside people from coming in and using the fields. Those fields are for Somerset residents priority.
Not the Somerset Rec League, but Somerset residents,
Somerset residents,
not the Rec League.
Somerset residents.
Right.
Well,
You get that? Well, you can say whatever you want.
The board.
Bottom line, it's Somerset residents.
I get you.
No, you don't, because you keep saying rec league. It has nothing to do, it's Somerset residents.
Right.
Where they play has nothing to do with this
But you know
board.
something, Jimmy? Let me-
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
One of the things I think you guys as a board, and it's voluntary, you guys do a lot of work, but one of the things you guys should be always looking at as a recreation board is your recreation leagues in town. Whether it's basketball, whether it's soccer, whether it's baseball, whether it's softball.
Correct. They
You
do
guys
get
should look
first
at it.
priority.
And you should not say, we don't care, you do care.
I
Because
do, but
recreation is what is the foundation for all these kids, even these 10 kids or 9 kids that are playing on that team wouldn't be where they were if it wasn't for recreation.
Don,
So-
I know what
so-
you're saying,
so you have
and
to
I-
always, you know, the
what I'm
recreation
trying to say, I
is
really
very-
don't care what your affiliation
Right,
is.
right.
Because our priority
No,
as
you
a
do
board.
care, you do care.
I do care,
You do
but
care.
it's Somerset. And the rec department, I mean, the rec leagues, no matter what they are, always get first priority.
But remember, you're exactly what you just said, you're a recreation board, you guys are here for recreation. And you have a lot of people, whether it's all these different sports, which have foundations of board members who put in a lot of time, and they do work in the fields, just like Matt did a lot of work in the baseball fields. But don't ever take it out of context that we don't care, you do care,
We do, but
you do.
But I see what the gentleman was trying to do was trying to get semantics because he's trying to play because we're the rec league.
Yeah.
Well, if you're the rec league, then what is your Somerset Storm then? That's above and beyond the rec league.
That is a recreational.
Oh, wait a
travel
second,
program.
no.
Yeah.
No.
That's how it's
You know
classified.
something, Jimmy?
You can say it's semantics, but that's how.
Well, that's where you're going with
No, it
that.
wasn't.
Hey, Jimmy, being
Yeah.
an ASA director
Yeah.
for this state, one of the things that we have as to protect the recreation leagues is we do have,
Yeah.
it's a, what Somerset Storm is, it's just a continuation of recreation softball. The only difference is you can't get 180, 200 kids to play in July and August, because Sally Sue's gotta go to Florida and Hawaii and
I
everything else.
understand.
So, the Somerset Storm is a recreational travel softball team that plays tournaments, because there's not enough kids to play a league anymore.
Correct, but it's above and
As you know,
beyond
as you know.
directly.
But it's a continuation, because we don't,
Yes.
because if you're
Very
playing,
much the same
if you're
level.
playing, what they're playing against is they're playing against Swansea girls
No,
softball,
it's not the
Dartmouth
same
girls
level.
softball.
If
But
it
it's not.
was,
No, it
because
isn't.
if it was, they
Richie,
would not be
Richie, you're
playing.
right, yeah, you know, it is a higher level.
It's a higher level of
Absolutely.
kid.
Absolutely.
He's saying
you're telling me
it's the same
every
level,
kid
it's not.
That want, in that
Every
rec
kid that
league,
makes that.
They're-
kid-
that wants to play for Storm can.
I don't know what their things are. Some leagues, like Peter Cabral's leagues,
Mhm.
every kid who wants to be in the travel team, they play. He never cuts a soul.
I
And
mean-
these guys here,
Now, same with us.
I will say that these guys here don't even, they get barely enough notice to fill their
We
team.
haven't cut a
understand.
girl
So there
in
is,
5 years.
I don't think that's an
Because,
issue that
yeah,
kids
teams
get cut
that are
out.
going.
I think it's a matter of, a lot of parents want their summer off because they like their pools. So, which I don't blame them. But, you know, the bottom line is don't say that they're in the same class as the others. The others are a whole different class. That is an independent team that
You're
recruits
right,
players
that
from
way
other
you're right,
towns
but
and
the
to
bottom
play on their
line,
team.
what we look at is that they are Somerset residents, and they're entitled
They have
to
9 kids,
those
that's great,
fields.
that's good for them.
And
It's
we
awesome.
do,
We
Kata,
also agree with you, can I get it?
okay, jump in.
We also agree with you, that if next year they put in an application for a permit, and they have less than 10%, they will not get a permit, listen,
Just so,
As
so
long
they've
as I'm on the board,
got,
that
they've got 10 girls on their team.
11,
I
11.
remember that when I
and
was
9 of them
four.
from Somerset, Berkeley.
But you're saying, but if it's less than 10% are from Somerset, or less than 10%?
No, there's 9 of the 11
Yep.
are from Somerset,
So if there was
Berkeley.
8 out of
Girls from
11, they wouldn't
Baltimore.
qualify, you're saying?
What's that?
So if there was 8 out of 11
They
from
would
Somerset, they
qualify.
wouldn't
Can I ask
qualify?
a question?
I don't think
It's the whole organization, there's 3 teams in it, we need.
But they only
No,
put a
so
request
they only
in
put
for
in for
one
one team,
team,
11
for
kids.
practices
That's
on
it.
Sunday morning.
And if
That's
if more than those 11 kids show up, I only live there, I go by there every Sunday
Yeah, but how
morning.
do you know what kid is, what if they put a different,
We're
how do
not
you know
going
that?
Well,
I'm just
that's-
asking as a board, how do we, they have probably 40 kids in that
Let me-
league,
let me-
or that organization.
Let
Well-
me tell you something, you know the team that's there.
Yeah,
Come
I
on,
know.
let's be
I'm not
smart.
gonna-
That's something,
You know, 'cause you-
we know what team they're talking about. And you guys, you're always up there.
And if
You're
they're not,
gonna
if
see,
it's
you're
not
gonna
that
see,
team,
if you notice
you
that
let
it's
us
not that
know.
team, let them know. Take a couple pictures
And
so they
we'll-
can't
and
deny
we'll
it.
definitely
and let it
stop
go.
it.
We got their roster, I mean, it's like anything else.
If all of a sudden we see 15 people practice on the field, we say, whoa, 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 wait a minute. And the reason why we ask for rosters, I know it sounds like we're being pains in the butts about it. I have to answer to you 5 people, because when we put people on those fields, we talk about liability insurance. If a kid comes up and says, hey, I busted my teeth on sliding into home plate. Oh, you're not even on the roster. What were you doing there? So the reason why we ask for rosters, so if all of a sudden we're protecting the town's interest and the people who play there.
If we go that
I've
far, we
been-
should probably ask for Cory checks.
Yeah,
if
can
we
I
do.
No, we're not gonna ask Cory checks on kids.
No, from the coach.
Well,
Well, you do. You already do.
They are Cory.
You already do, yeah.
Because if they're a travel team, right, which they are, and they're registered for tournaments, they have to do the
Do
Cory
the
check.
ASA, right.
They have
These
to
guys do it, you guys do it,
Everybody's cool.
Peter does it.
Just, I guess a point of order more than anything, if you're saying it's 90%, they've got 83%. For what that's worth.
But
9 out of 11 is 83%, not
the only question I have for you guys is this.
So they don't
and this
meet the
is-
criteria.
This might be a dumb question, but you just said to me, you just said the thing that they have 9 players from Somerset and Berkeley.
correct.
Okay. We're not, the high school's regional. The town is Somerset.
Well,
They
Somerset.
don't pay my,
Well,
they don't pay the same taxes
We
I
ran
pay.
into this problem
All right,
when
but-
they
but I'm
went
saying
to
if they
Somerset
have-
Berkeley.
If they have 4 kids from Somerset and
Mhm.
5 kids from Berkeley, then theoretically, you just gave a permit out to kids who are not from this town.
Well, we ran into this problem when our permits were just for Somerset kids, and then the softball league went to Somerset Berkeley.
Right, but I'll bet you,
And then-
if you look at their roster, I'll bet you they're well within 10 to 15% is
Well,
from Berkeley.
That's
it.
why we started to get numbers, because they joined up with Berkeley, and when they came to us, we were like, yeah, that's probably a good idea, keep the kids together, we're not gonna, now, I mean, we hire kids who live in Berkeley. We've never did that till it went regional. We didn't do that, I don't believe we did that when it was just Somerset High School.
Nope.
In the majority.
So you're 90% of Somerset Berkeley.
The combination of some
You got 90%.
Berkeley.
99.
But see, that's the thing, when they went, we almost had to make it across the board. And then baseball went to Cal Ripken, and they started to get some kids. So if we're gonna hold then we have to hold the rec leagues to that same criteria, because it's not fair. But because they went regional, softball went to Berkeley, baseball went to Berkeley, the high school went to Berkeley, we started hiring Berkeley kids also. Because we felt, hey, they're in our school system, yes, they don't pay taxes here, but we do get some kids from Berkeley who work for us. And it was just a kind of a courtesy, that was started by the softball league, that was a good gesture, and it snowballed into everybody else accepting these Berkeley kids as their own, and that's how that's come about. So just hope that they don't regionalize with Swansea and Dayton Rehoboth, and then we'll all be in the crap.
So, Mr. Chairman,
So
can
that
I-
would've made, hey, that would've made sense.
So, Mr. Chairman, can I just ask one more time? If we have 5 weeks left of this permit that we put out there,
Yeah.
is it something that the Somerset Berkeley softball group could work with us on for the next 5 weeks to go, let this group use the field from 9 to 11? And you have it from 11 to 5 or 11 to 6, 11 till dusk?
I think
They
what we
already
need,
have their practices all set
Yeah.
up, they've been practicing all
Well,
those
the thing
things
is,
away.
the
Starting
thing,
up-
Unfair.
We're starting up a 10U travel program as well. We're trying
but
to.
we didn't know about that then.
You didn't tell us that.
But we haven't.
But we've still got the field.
Well, we assumed that we have.
How about if you guys split the difference and go, let them go 8:30 to 10:30 and you
I
start at 10:30?
don't want the fields at 8:30.
Well, if
We don't want
you
the fields at
split,
8. I was there when.
but if you split
when,
the difference with them, say, listen, we
Mr.
made a
Fontaine
mistake,
asked.
we double booked the permit process.
we overlapped it by an hour.
Can we take a half hour from you guys and you guys come in a half hour earlier?
And the only other thing is trying to, again, we're still talking about the kids, we're still talking about 6 or 7 of the kids that are actually playing in your league. Like, they were supposed to be on the field on Sunday. They contacted me and they said, we have a scrimmage game, we're not gonna need the field on Sunday. So they weren't even there on Sunday. He said, that happens quite a bit. So,
I think the permit, maybe we can revise it, you take a look at it, because I know that the Storm now, the Recreational Storm Travel League they have tournaments, and that's not outlined on that permit. The times overlap, that's not outlined on the permit. I mean, the permit was probably, I know it was issued in error, obviously, because the times
oh
overlap.
no, it wasn't, it was issued,
It was
okay,
issued in error, because
Okay.
the times overlap.
okay, all right, but the
Right.
issue is, you know,
I'm just trying to get clarification, was it issued in error because the times overlap?
no, because
It wasn't.
I looked at it and I thought it was a 10 and under, that they needed that field for 10 and under. There's no one using that field on Sundays, the 10 and under field. I looked at that,
You looked at the wrong
I
one,
looked at the wrong one.
so it was issued in error.
Well, if you wanna say it that way, yeah, sure,
Yeah,
okay. I mean,
I'm just trying to get clarification.
but I'm just
That's
saying, I'm saying to myself, everybody's got their boxes in a bunch here.
No, I'm
okay?
on board, I'm trying to get the facts so I can make a decision on a vote.
I'm trying to make some
Best
sense
interest
of
of the
this.
children.
I'm trying to make some sense of this in that, if, again, it's up to you guys as a board, okay, it was nothing done intentional,
It was issued in error.
okay? So, again, we're talking about another 5 weeks, of one of the weeks that you guys are gonna be using it for a tournament. So they already know that they're not gonna have the field that day.
I think they're using it every week because they have practice that starts at 10 o'clock, and I saw the schedule today, it starts at 10 o'clock. And if they play in a tournament and they don't have a game till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they will be practicing. There's a tournament this weekend against Swansea.
So is there?
But they'll play, if they play Sunday, you don't know till Saturday, probably at 9 PM, what time you're gonna be playing on Sunday. So if they're not playing Sunday till 3 o'clock, the Recreational Travel League will be on the field at 10 o'clock in the morning. Is that right, John?
What's that, I'm sorry?
Knowing when you're gonna play on Sunday for bracket play, you don't know that.
You don't know that until you figure out the brackets.
On